Hey, it's Rexar, and as you can see, there's a fresh file here, just sitting, waiting to be done stuff to, and this game that I'm currently doing this, whatever, in the vast, deep forest of Hyrule. Long have I served as the guardian spirit. I am known as the Deku Tree. The children of the forest, the Kokiri, live here with me. Each Kokiri has his or her own guardian fairy. However, there is one boy who does not have a fairy. And he's very cold, because fairies keep you warm at night. Everyone knows that fairies keep you warm at night. Anyways, today I'm going to be starting my brand new project. I didn't even start on the opening screen of it because I don't know why. I just didn't start on the opening screen. He's having a bad dream about little girls being taken away from castles. Possibly. We don't know that girl's name yet. She could be anybody. I don't know. Anyways, welcome to the new project. This is Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, but it is specifically Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Master Quest. Now, the deal with this game, whatever. Navi, where art thou? Come hither. O Navi, Navi the fairy, listen to my words, the words of the Deku Tree. Dost thou sense it, the climate of evil descending upon this realm? Malevolent forces even now are mustering to attack our land of Hyrule. For so long, the Kokiri Forest, the source of life, has stood as barrier, deterring outsiders and maintaining the order of the world. But, before this tremendous evil power, even my power is as weak, It seems the time has come for the boy without a fairy to begin his journey. The youth whose destiny it is to lead Hyrule to the path of justice and truth. Navi, go now! Find our young friend and guide him to me. I do not have much time left. Fly, Navi! Fly, the fate of the forest, nay, the world depends upon thee! And it begins. So anyways, I have already done Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time on my YouTube channel before. Anybody who has been around for a very long time on my YouTube channel knows this is the second project I ever did, but I was thinking recently about projects that I could do, and it crossed my mind that I'm not very happy with my original Legend of Zelda series, and I know that might seem like a little bit ridiculous for me to not be happy with my original Legend of Zelda series, but I'm really not. Like, I look back on it, and I don't really like my commentary for it. And I did something that really bothers me, and it's something that I'm trying to fix in these later times in my life. And that is, I've been trying to never use an emulator for anything on my channel, which I know that, I've got nothing wrong with emulator. I've played games on emulator. Obviously, I've beaten this game on an emulator at least once because I beat it on an emulator in order to record it for my channel originally, but I was like, I have never played Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Master Quest. And I figured that since I kind of wanted to redo this game on my channel, which I know it seems weird that I just randomly want to redo a game on my channel, but I also want to redo another game that I've done previously on my channel. It's the two other games, and it's the other two games on N64 that I did on emulator. And so who knows, maybe those games will also get redone at some point, but I really wanted to start a new project, and I, for some reason, wow, on Master Quest, the redoing of these buttons, it's super crisp. It's crispy as fuck. Like, I'm not kidding. Just the button animations are super sleek. But anyways, yeah, this is Legend of Zelda Master Quest for the GameCube, which I am borrowing from my friend Zach Powers, who I have done stuff with on the channel before. And I don't know. This is the game. It is happening. I love this game a lot. I know it is a beloved game to many, and I figured that it was the great next project to do on my channel. One of the things that I disliked, actually, that I did when I originally did this game on my channel was I had sort of... What I did wrong was I tried to do, like, some goofy stuff to maybe be a little bit gimmicky, and I realize now that, like, being gimmicky was stupid, and I don't try to do that anymore. So I'm just gonna go straight over to where the Deku Tree is, even though I already know what's gonna happen. But in case for some crazy reason anybody hasn't played this game, I would just say, instead of watching me play it, go play this game! But this is for entertainment purposes only, and this game is awesome. You can get it on the Wii and the Wii U digital consoles, virtual console. But anyways,
Mito was very jealous that I've been summoned by the Great Deku Tree, and he is like, well, he's gonna try and make up an excuse. He's gonna try to be like, oh, well, you can't, without a sword and shield, you're not the guy. And what he doesn't know is that I'm actually a very talented hero. A hero of time, in fact, who's very good at collecting swords and shields. So, oh, Navi, let's just listen to her. The Great Deku Tree summoned you, please come with me. Yeah, whatever. I like how she's being uncool to me, and I'm doing exactly what she wants. And there's a few places right now that I'm gonna go grab a little 5 rupee Rooperinos, because you need 40 roops if you want to get a shield, and Mito is pretty much a D-bag. And he will not, absolutely under any circumstances, allow you to do what you want to do unless you go get a sword and a shield. Now, if you walk around and talk to the fairy people... Oh, wait, what does it say? For trading standards, don't recklessly cut signs. Don't worry, I can't recklessly cut signs because I don't happen to have a thing. So, what's nice is I've played this game many times. There was a time in my life when, I used to play this game, like, maybe once a year. I would have, like, an annual sit-down where I would just get down to brass tacks and beat this game. I don't even know why. It was just one of those things that it's like, it's what I do. Look at this. They purposely point your camera away and then they make the big old sound to scare you with this rock and another hidden super secret 5 Rooperino piece. Can we run faster than this guy? Ah! Yes, the answer is apparently you can run faster. And your first big old massive chest, it is labeled, I think. Visit the House of the Know-It-All Brothers to get answers to all your item-related questions. I don't even know what the Know-It-All Brothers... I don't think I've ever visited their house before because I've never cared. The game tells you everything you need to know about items and anything you don't know. You can just figure it out by old swinging the old swingerino sword around and doing whatever it takes to be a champion in life. But yes, this is the hidden treasure of the Kokiri. The Kokiri sword. The most basic of the basic-ass shit that you need for Hyrule adventuring, which you can equip simply and easily. Oh, I didn't save! And I'm actually not going to... I'm going to try to not save until the end of every video. And the reason I'm going to do that... I mean, this is me just talking about stuff that technically the viewer shouldn't even care about. But I try not to save until the end of every video, because then if I make a mistake in the recording, like, not a commentary mistake. My commentary, as you know, is off the cuff and completely random, dumb shit. I just say whatever's on my head all the time. This guy is showing me that I can pick up rocks too, but for some reason, I don't know what... He clearly is practicing for weaponry combat, but he's doing it without a weapon. Chop up that sign. We'll get the whole sign. Leave no chunk of sign unchopped. By the way, though, getting your roops like this is a fool's errand, because there are many other better ways to get rupees than chopping grass, because, you know, there's like 5 rupee pieces that they basically hid all around the village because they knew that you were going to be a sucker who had to get 40 rupees to buy yourself a shield, and you're going to do whatever. Now, what does this girl say? She is clearly skilled enough to get across this bridge. You came all the way up here? You're a real man. Look, isn't this view pretty? Yeah, it's okay. It's an okay view. I mean, I'm not particularly impressed by a lot of stuff, but this view, I guess it's okay. And now, there's another Roopster that I know I can absolutely get. For some reason, I failed it earlier. There we go. You get it by jumping across those dang rocks. And now, I don't know where a lot of the other rupees are, so I'm actually just going to cut while I go maybe collect a few more rupees. If there's any more 5ers, I'll show the 5ers. Rocks reward ample rupees. Boom. Whoa, this house has 4 boxes in it. Surely one of these boxes must contain... Oh, yeah. How did I never know about this before? I seriously didn't ever know about this before. Was it added for Master Quest? Because I straight up did not realize that this house had 4 boxes in it. Anyways, who cares? I got some more rupees. I cut some grass, threw some rocks. I feel like maybe people throw rupees in grass in this game because they think to themselves, like, I don't want to... See, this guy's clearly trying to mow his lawn the old-fashioned way, which is picking the grass by hand, aka not a good way to mow your lawn. But maybe he figured, hey, if somebody can squeeze in and get that good old-fashioned... She's just telling me that I can Z-target, so guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna hit the buttons and try and get her to go through her speech. How do you get her to stop oh, there we go. Okay, cool. But yeah, I don't care about all the things she had to say. Anyways, I figure maybe people hide rupees in the grass because they know that they need to mow the lawn, but they're too lazy to actually mow the lawn themselves. And so they're like, hey, if I mow the lawn, or if I just throw some rupees in the grass, I can get all the lawn mowing I want. By the way, I totally just now remembered. I can't even believe I didn't remember this before. I could have gone back here. Guess what? Ruperino, this guy running a shop, doesn't even realize that he just dropped some cash over here on the ground. He could have 5 additional rupees just like by virtue of whatever, and he's sitting here foolishly sitting on these 5 rupees like a dumb ditzy klutz. So that guy is obviously not good at his job, but whatever. Mito is gonna be like, oh, there's no way that this sucker got a sword and a shield in this short period of time. But sure enough, I do have Yon sword and Yon shield. Let the jealousy abound. Mito, you just got the equivalent of dunked on. And he is obviously going to have to put up with his shame and failure of not being summoned by the Deku Tree. Although, I mean, he can still take pleasure in the fact that he happens to have been, his whole life. Might as well put that on my bar just so I can feel like I have got things on my bar. But yeah, Mito is basically in this situation where he's had a fairy his whole life. So even if he's like, oh, I can't go see the Deku Tree because he didn't summon me because I'm not special, he can still be like, oh, well, I've got a fairy my whole life. You just got a fairy because you're just some loser who he had to send a fairy to come get you. But obviously, trouble is afoot, as the music, the words on screen also denote that trouble is afoot. But more importantly, the music denotes that trouble is afoot, nightmares are being caused, and everything is not okay in the world. Luckily, we're gonna take we're gonna have the courage to take his task. I would show what happens when you say no to him, but he just says, well, come back later, and you can come talk to him again. He'll ask you if you have the courage. Like, it's not super interesting. In my original playthrough of this game, I would always just say no to everybody, but I learned that saying no to everybody, not the best idea, because usually people just stop the conversation and be like, no, you got to say yes, bro. So I'm not going to be doing that at all in this, because I already know the truth now. You don't really get a lot of funny or neat, unique responses in that sense. By the way, though, one thing I always liked about this game, it starts right here, and it is the fact that basically you just get popped into the first dungeon pretty much right away. I never really understood why you have to go get the sword and the shield, but I guess maybe they have to make it so, like, oh, you gotta go get the sword and the shield. What? Alright, whatever. They're like, you gotta go get the sword and the shield, so you can't just start the dungeon with the stuff, but why not just throw you into a dungeon right off the bat? Sometimes it's a fun thing to do in a game, is just to throw you into a dungeon right off the bat. By the way, the reason I got a little bit confused right there is because for some reason I thought there was something weird about that, but as it so turns out, there's not. So, here is the thing about this game that I'm going to say right here, right now, and that is, I've heard, and I don't know this for a fact because I've never watched a playthrough of this game. I've never watched a playthrough of this game, and I've never played it myself, Master Quest style. Okay, this is the kind of thing, though, that games don't need. Is telling me stuff like, you can open a door by standing next to a door. Like, I feel like most people in a video game, I will admit, that was a little bit problematic. Because most people in a video game, when they see a thing, they'll just walk up, and their first instinct will just be to, like, hit the main button that has been getting them through every situation up until now. I will critique games on that sort of a note. When they just make things too obvious, or they give you tips that you really, by no means need, I'll sit there and I'll be like, come on, really? You thought it was necessary to tell me? You know what's interesting is this game has a mix of, like, like good design and bad design, because sort of part of it is like, hey, guess what? You have this whole thing right here where we're gonna let you figure out for yourself that you need to shoot the Deku Seeds back at this guy, but with a door, oh, you can't possibly, your brain can't possibly understand the intricacies of doors. And so I always thought it was a little bit interesting that you get that dichotomy right there where it's nice that they let you figure out the Deku guy by yourself, but it's like, if they think you can figure out the Deku guy by yourself, why don't they think that you can figure out the other thing by yourself? It never really made complete and utter sense to me that they sit there and they treat you like a foo for one thing, but then for the other thing, they're like, Isku. Anyways, though, this, I think, is neat, because they give you the slingshot, and then immediately they're like, hey, you can use the slingshot to dislodge things, so you gotta look around rooms. Like, a lot of the puzzles in this game are sort of just observancy puzzles, which I think some people don't necessarily like, but I really think it's cool, because it makes you kind of like think about the area around you. What would be neat, though, and I think that there's not a huge chance of future Zelda games doing this, I think it'd be cool if they maybe thought of a way to make it so there's multiple solutions in a room, and so it's up to, like, the wit of your wit to use the multiple solutions and kind of, like, think up a solution on your own based on all the items in your inventory, instead of just being like, there's one item in your inventory that can make this work for you, and you have to choose that one item. It'd be cool if there was, like, a bunch of items in your inventory, and it was kind of this idea of you can choose many items. By the way, I'm going to try and show this just for the hell of it, and if I fail, I fail. If I don't fail, I don't fail. So, what's interesting about this is they make it so... Alright. Yep, there we go. They make it so you sort of... Is he gonna... Okay, cool. Oh, nope. Don't move. Alright, cool. They make it so you have to get the slingshot to move past that wall, sort of. And when I say sort of, you clearly see that what I mean is you sort of have to have... I'm not going to do this yet. So you sort of have to have the slingshot to get past that wall, and the reason you sort of have to have the slingshot is because, as you can see, you can climb up past those bugs, but I always thought it was very interesting that they put those bugs there, and they were like, tricky, we got the bugs here, now what are you gonna do? You can't get past the wall without a way to... Aw, damn it. You can't get past the wall without a way to kill the bugs. But, like I said, a tricky person can realize that the bugs, if a bug looks at you, you actually don't have to, engage it. You can just wait for it to stop looking at you, and then it'll keep spinning and you can just go past them all. Now, what's interesting about that is once you get to Goma, I think that if you don't have the compass, Goma is basically, I'm gonna say basically unbeatable, but I think there's tricks to... No, you can beat the Goma... And I didn't mean to say compass, actually, I meant to say something else, but yeah. You can't beat Goma without whatever. By the way, bada bing, bada boozle. They put this in this room to show you the mechanic of, hey, if you want, this is how you get out of doors. And that's a torch mechanic that they're just trying to show you because, guess what? It gets used a lot in the game. We're gonna jump around this guy because I don't actually... You don't have to fight this loser. And first gold Skulltula, which this is a thing in the game, doesn't serve a huge purpose right now. Also, I like that they put a box in the room with the compass to show you that basically it's not an important box by any means, but I always thought it was, they sort of put it there so you can clearly see this is what the compass does. Is it shows you that there's boxes. So it's a thing that you gotta do.